What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Barbecue Late Night Live. I'm your host, Andrew, aka the Grill Sergeant, coming in from Los Angeles, California. Co-host Jared, give yourself an introduction.
What is up, Grill Billies and everybody out here tonight? I'm Jared from a chilly South Texas, which we haven't seen weather like this in quite a while, so we're going to be enjoying this show tonight, staying warm.
That's awesome. And before we dive in, we do want to give a shout out to our show sponsor, Castle Hives. Brian, thank you always for the support. And so tonight's episode is actually pretty cool how it worked out. I was on Facebook about a month ago, and I came into this advertisement, and I'll basically just show you the ad that I saw. So I'm just going to play it right now.
Can't sharpen your knives? The answer is Angle. All blades have different angles. Knife blade angles range from 21 degrees to 13 degrees. The problem is, knife sharpeners are at one fixed angle. If your sharpener is at 21 degrees and your knife is at 13 degrees, your sharpener is just not going to work. Introducing Angle Pro Sharpener. With its patent-pending angle gauge, you can easily tell the angle of your blade. Once you know the angle, you can then use the appropriate sharpening wheel to put a perfect edge on your knife. The Angle Pro is actually 3 devices in one. It hones, it sharpens, and it re-edges your knife. Through normal use, a blade edge will curve. The Angle Pro's ceramic honing wheels will straighten the edge. Over time, metal burrs will start to form on the blade edge, at which point the knife will have to be sharpened. The Angle Pro's diamond-coated wheels will remove the metal burrs as well as straighten the blade edge. After prolonged use, even the best knife will become worn to the point that it needs a new edge. With our tungsten carbide sharpening rods, your knife will become new again. No matter the shape, style, or blade angle of your knife, the Angle Pro Sharpener will always give you the perfect edge.
So that was the Facebook advertisement video that I saw, and I was like, you know what, that is so cool. So I was actually about ready to, hit purchase, but I was like, you know what, let me just reach out to the company and see if we can actually, contact someone if they wanted to be on the live show. Again, this live show is mainly geared to introduce people that just love barbecue into all different aspects of, the barbecue industry. And so I was like, hey, you know what? We could basically make this edition about, knives and cutlery and knife sharpening. And so, I reached out, and not only did we get a hold of Phil, who invented this Angle Pro Sharpener, he actually has a line of awesome knives. He sent me a few, and I'll show them to you. And my mind is blown. So anyway, without further ado, Jared, let's get Phil on the show here. So
Heck yeah.
What's going on, Phil? Phil, say hi to the people out there.
Hello, everybody.
Right on. So Phil, a awesome guy. Phil, you're from what part of Florida you're from?
I live in Melbourne, Florida, which is about an hour east of Orlando.
Orlando. Okay, awesome. So tell us, just giving I kind of already, I don't want to steal too much of your thunder, but you invented the Angle Sharpener Pro. You have an awesome
Angle Pro Sharpener.
Angle Pro. Sorry, don't want to get it wrong. So you invented this thing. And you have an awesome line of knives. But tell me, how did you get started? What led you up to this point in time?
Well, I actually was in the cookware business. I had a line of what's called waterless cookware. It's the kind that if you've been to a home show, you might have seen a demo. We used to do in-home demonstrations, and it was really high-end cookware where you can cook vegetables with very little water, fry meats without oil and grease, really high-end stuff.
Yeah.
And I was actually looking for a line of knives to go with my cookware, and I couldn't find anything out there that I thought was the same type of quality as the cookware. So I ended up designing my own knives, and it was a line of knives we called hammer saw, because it was a German blade, and we started selling so many knives that I kind of phased out the cookware and just got into the knife business full time. I ended up selling the company Hammerstall to the cookware company that made my cookware. And then a couple of years later, I I designed a new knife, which is this one right here, which you have, called Rhineland. And we've done very, very well with it. Came out in 2012. And then I designed a line of knives called Easy Slice, which you can go on easyslice.com and take a look at them. And those are kind of lower price knives, but really, really nice knives.
Nice.
And yeah, we do a lot of business with the culinary industry. We do a lot of trade shows. The way we sell the knives, we do home shows, wine and food shows, restaurant shows, boat shows, barbecue festivals, set up a booth, and then people get to come up, pick up the knife, try it out, slice a tomato, and then if they want to buy a knife, they buy a knife. They want to buy a set, they buy a set. And that's how I got into the knife business.
Nice. I mean, what's funny is when we talked earlier, you said something. Now, this is, again, before I had the knives in my hand, and you were saying that basically when people pick this up, the knives sell themselves. You don't have, there's no pressure sales with you. You're just, all you have to do is be a nice guy. And then when people pick this up and they feel the quality and then they feel the edge blade, you know, you had said that. And then right when I got the knives and just looked at the quality, you know, I immediately clicked. I'm like, it makes so much sense. It made that, what you said made absolute sense. So you started Rhineland Cutlery before you invented the Angle Pro Sharpener? Yeah.
I had been doing the knife business for about 10 years. And then, you know, I started realizing that there's, you know, each knife will have a different angle. And Japanese knives, you know, are angled generally from 13 to 16 degrees. German knives tend to be 18 to 21 degrees. And all the knife sharpeners out there, well, not all, but most of the knife sharpeners are at one fixed angle. And I was thinking, you know, how can that be? You know, if you've got a knife that's 20 degrees and a sharpener that's 15 degrees or vice versa, it's just not going to properly sharpen the knife. So it got the idea in my head. And you know, I'm kind of a little bit of an inventor, and just, you know, I decided I need to create a sharpener that can sharpen all the different angles. And then I realized, well, you got to know what angle your blade is at first to be able to sharpen it.
Yeah.
So then I decided to invent an angle gauge. Oops, it's stuck in here. It was in my car.
So basically, so you're talking about this thing right here. The
show them the angle gauge.
Yeah, there you go.
This thing was sitting in my car in the heat, and I think something melted in it. But yeah, that's the angle gauge. So you'll see it goes. There's different slots on there, and they go from 13 degrees to 21 degrees. And basically, you put your knife in there. Oh, I got it out. I got mine out. Okay, thank God. You guys were going to have to do the demo for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, you'll notice that one side is straight up and down, and the other side is angled. So what you want to do is you want to put your blade against the flat part that's straight up and down, and then just kind of slide your knife down in there. And if it goes into the hole, which you can see going into the hole, that means it's not the correct angle. So you keep going down. You go down to 20. You go down to 19, and then right when you feel it kind of stop at the top of the hole, which it did there. This is an 18-degree blade. Then you know you have the correct angle.
Got it.
So then, basically, this is a 3-in-1 sharpener. It has 3 honing wheels set at different angles. And basically, honing is straightening the edge without taking any metal off, taking any material off. And if you can get the edge back on there by honing it, that's what you want to do. If you've ever seen the guys with the steels, like a stainless steel, they're just honing it. Or sometimes you'll see a ceramic steel, and they're just honing it. Yeah. Stainless steel and ceramic are 2 really good materials for honing a knife. And then I've got 3 diamond coated wheels. I'll take the tray off real quick so you can see the wheels. These are diamond coated wheels, and the diamond dust on these wheels, the coating is very hard. And when you pull the blade through, it's going to take off any loose metal burrs, and it will sharpen the knife. And then if your knife is completely shot, it's dull, it's beat up, whatever, we've got tungsten rods in here. I don't know if you can see it real well or not. And tungsten is an extremely hard metal. And what happens is when you pull the knife through, you can actually feel it grab a hold of the blade, and it takes a layer of metal off and puts a brand new edge on the knife.
Yeah.
So you can basically hone the knife, sharpen it, or put a brand new edge on it. And I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, we launched in August of last year, and we did about $200,000 in sales in the first 3 months.
That's insane.
And it was basically through Facebook advertising. So obviously there's a need and a want for the product out there. So I'm very happy how it's taken off.
Now, for the people that are actually buying it, do you find like restaurants are, buying this too, instead of, shipping their knives off to get sharpened? Or do you just see it just your backyard, barbecuer? Like who do you see best using the Angle Pro sharpener?
Yeah. I mean, I designed it for restaurants, is what I designed it for. But most of the sales have been to homeowners so far.
Nice.
I usually do big trade shows like the National Restaurant Association show in Chicago, the New York restaurant shows. And because of COVID, all the shows have been canceled. So I haven't really had an opportunity to really show it off at these big restaurant shows. And that's usually where I pick up my customers for the knives, and it would be for the sharpers. But I haven't actually had a chance to kind of present it to the culinary industry. You know what I mean? Nice.
Very cool. And then Jared, I'm assuming you're watching the comment section. So if anyone is watching, if they do have any questions for either of us or for Phil, do leave a question. Just put @FrackDaddyBarbecue, and then Jared will be sure to pass those comments along. So yeah, you pretty much walked us through the use of the how to use the Angle Pro Sharpener. So I guess if we want to, we can segue into the knife, basically into your line of knives. Actually, before we do that though, I do want to show something on the screen really quick. So basically, if anyone is watching tonight, Phil was pretty awesome that for our viewers here, he did set up some discount links. So if you actually did want to purchase anything tonight, I will flash this on the screen. So if you use discount code BBQ20, you will get 20% off on the website. And I do have the links already linked in the description and stuff like that. So if this is something,
you get $20 off.
Oh, sorry, 20. Okay, $20. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
So
and the website is angleprosharpener.com.
Awesome, very cool. Yeah, I put that in the the website.
Okay.
In our description, so they can click on that. So $20 off. That is awesome. Actually, before we get into the knives, actually, I just want to show. So this is what I was sent. Phil was kind enough to send some knives out to me just so I can check out the quality. And even without opening the knives, even just the box alone, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it just, without even looking at the knives, you basically even have like these magnetic tabs. So it's almost like you're opening up and you're looking at like a gift here. And just so how it's presented, I was blown away. But I think even more so is the fact that that you can basically custom. Is this laser, Phil?
Laser etched.
Yeah. So laser etched. So right when I saw this, my eyes turned, all sparkly, and I was like, oh my God, my freaking logo is on a knife set. And so actually, so let me get to, actually we'll do, let's do this one as well. And so again, I believe between the Pro Series and then the other one, these are the same blade?
Same blade. It's a German blade. It's called X50 CRMO V15. It's a high carbon German steel. The top of the line Wusthoffs, the top of the line Henkels that are made in Germany are made with the same steel. Nice. It holds an edge real well, and it takes an edge very easily.
Nice.
The one with the wood handle we call the Classic Series. That's got a rosewood handle, absolutely beautiful. And then the black handle we call the Pro Series. That has a high impact silicon handle, real grippy, real nice grip to it. Yeah. And you'll notice there's no sharp angles. We round everything. We even round the spine on the knife, the bolster, the handle. Everything's rounded, and the balance on these is just perfect. So
absolutely. And what's funny is when you had asked, like, hey, if you want to check anything out, and to me, I have a woodworking background, so when I saw like just the wood and the metal thing, I'm like, it looks so beautiful. I went to I went to Rhineland Cutlery just on the website, and I'm like, man, that wood pops. And what's funny is, after holding both, I love the aesthetics of this, but then when it comes down to like the practical, having the Pro Series grip, it's like, okay, that,
it's really good. It's really, I like it better, especially for like fillet knives. I like the Pro Series handle and the cleaver, because you're just getting a better grip with the cleaver. Yeah. Something like if you're just using a little chef knife or something like that, it's not that big it's not that big a difference, but
absolutely. But I was thoroughly impressed. And so pretty much if they order on the website, they can pretty much type in if they want their name in, or they can, if they wanted their
what they would do is, well, first of all, it's a completely different website. Our knives are RhinelandCutlery.com.
Yes.
And if they put an order in, there's a comment section on there where they can put whatever they want to have engraved on it. And if the warehouse has any questions, they'll call and ask them if there's any doubt as to what they want engraved on it. And all of our engraving is free. There's no charge for engraving.
Very cool.
So, Andrew.
Yes.
We got a question for Phil. Tuna Shogun asked, is there any concern of metal shavings after they come off? Are the shavings stored somewhere in the unit that can get dumped?
Yeah, the shavings will actually come down in here, and actually if you just turn it over and tap it on the cutting board, they'll come right out. There's not any well where it goes in. If you just kind of turn it over and tap it, the shavings will come out. So there's no shavings are going to build up over time.
So I do have a question that I'd like to ask you, Phil.
Yeah.
So with, like I said, I mean, you sent me one of these, and I appreciate it very much. Now, how long will these blades or these sharpening wheels, how long will they last for sharpening?
Okay, so these were designed for a restaurant scenario where they're using it every single day.
Right.
And so, in that setting, the wheels lasted about a year. So for home use, I mean, 5 years or more easily. Everything detaches, everything's modular. So you can replace the wheels. About $7 to replace the wheels, but
perfect.
You'll get 5 years use out of them easily.
Nice.
And the same thing with the diamond wheels. By the way, the trays also come out. The wheels come out. The trays. Everything's modular.
Gotcha.
And even, let me show you this. Even the tungsten cartridge.
Oh, cool.
And is modular. So if you ever need to replace that. But
nice. So we have another question from Cypress Blue. Can you rinse these off underwater, or do not do that?
The knives?
No. I'm guessing the sharpening wheels. Your sharpening nails. Can you rinse those out underwater and they'll be fine?
Absolutely. You can put them underwater, not a problem.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. Actually, that brings up a question. I mean, pretty much, do you need to do that though, or is it just you would just use this to sharpen your knives and then you're good to?
You might, if you want to, because you'll get after a while on the ceramic wheels with the knives going back, you'll get a little bit of residue from the knives, and it'll turn a little bit black. Just take an old toothbrush if you want, and you can just kind of get in there and scrub it up and clean them up if you want. But you really don't have to. It's not gonna affect how it sharpens the knives.
Mm-hmm. So another question: has this sharpening the Angle Pro? Have you seen a big, I would say, push towards like outdoor hunters, fishermen, and stuff like that to take your sharpener out there in the middle of nowhere while they're hunting?
We really just launched this, like I said, basically September is when we launched. So we've only been going for about 5 months. So the only thing I've done so far is really marketed it on Facebook. We just got on Amazon, I want to say 2 weeks ago. And we probably sold, I would probably say 100, 200 units on Amazon. And we've gotten really good reviews on Amazon. But mostly through Facebook ads is how we've been selling.
Nice.
Very cool. Now, for the Rhineland Cutlery, what is there a fixed angle on all those knives, or between the different knives you're going to find?
Yeah, the Rhineland knives are in general about 18 degrees.
Okay.
I think the fillet knives closer to 16. The cleaver, our cleavers are closer to 20, 21 degrees. But in general, they're about 18 degrees.
Okay.
That's
good. Right on. Very cool. So it's so funny because since the knives are so sharp right now, I'm almost tempted. I'm like, I don't want to run them through here. They're too precious. But I think Jared, he was saying was it today or yesterday that you ran your Jared has some Wusthof knives and you were running it through the Angle Pro?
Yes, I was running it through the deal, and I tell you what, so last night I made some chili, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be doing some chopping, and I sharpened up my paring knife, I sharpened up my butcher's knife, and man, I was just sitting there and it was just cutting through it like freaking butter. And
that's awesome.
I was beyond impressed. And so, matter of fact, we have I'm not sure if I'm going to say it right. Some Corsi's Farms said that they just bought one of your knives.
Oh, cool.
And then Hersher 6 said, I got to be that guy. Are the knives okay to throw in the dishwasher?
Well, here's the problem with the dishwasher, and this is with any knives. When they're manufacturing knives, the knives go through, the metal blade goes through a tempering process, which hardens the steel. And the problem with the dishwasher, over time, it takes that tempering off.
Gotcha.
And then the knife's not going to stay sharp as long. You're more susceptible to get rusting and pits and stuff like that. If you hand wash your knives, they're going to stay looking new. They'll last forever. They're going to stay sharper longer. I would tell you that with any knife.
Right. So, Niner Nation just asked you, other than handles, is there any difference between knives? I'm guessing difference between your knives, like your.
Well, in general, the blade's the same. It's the blade steel's the same. It's the high-end German steel, the X50 CRMO V15. But if he's talking about in general, there's big difference in the quality of the metals. Japanese knives are made of the Damascus steel, which is the Damascus steel is rolled and then hammered and rolled. It's rolled metal. Right. They take layers of metal and roll it and hammer. And then the German knives are hammered steel, but it's not the Damascus. So it's just the problem with the Japanese, that Damascus steel, it's great. It's fantastic. I mean, you're going to spend a couple $100 for a Japanese knife. It's just, you really have to know what you're doing when it comes to sharpening it, because it's such a hard metal, and you have to sharpen it with a whetstone.
Gotcha.
For the most part. Although the Angle Pro works great with the Japanese knives also. but you have to know, if you don't have that, you have to know what you're doing when it comes to stuff.
And I do have a graphic. Actually, I do want to share it before everyone's like, rush to the website, because we actually do have a deal for the people that are watching here. So actually, before I flash the graphic, just so I get it right, so the discount code is BBQ50, and that is
50% off.
50% off. Okay, so the let me, I only want to ask because it's like 50% off. You're like, I said $50. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you. No. So just want to make sure. So here we do have the graphic on here. So BBQ 50, and you get 50 off. Which at first, when I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, it'd be cool if we can kick a small discount, and I'm like, 10, 20%, like if someone's actually interested, that's great. And, Phil's just like, give him 50% off. I'm like, no, what are you doing? And the funny thing Phil brought up is he's like, what's hard about the sales right now is in a pandemic, you can't physically hold it. And so, if you're at the trade show, which I think you're actually getting ready to do one tomorrow, correct?
Yeah.
It's like when someone gets to physically hold this, it absolutely clicked right when I picked this up out of the box, and I just saw the laser etching, and I saw how sharp the blade was, and it made sense. It worth every cent. But then that's hard when it's just like, hey, here's a picture in a sea of knife pictures. So it's just like, hey, get if anyone's interested, 50% off. Have at it. And I take it that's pretty much site-wide, whatever's in stock on RhinelandCutlery.com.
Yeah, on any of our series, Pro Series, we have a kind of an introductory line, which is not very expensive. I mean, they're like $20-$30 knives, and so you can get 50% off on those also. And then we offer free engraving. So if you want to have something engraved, you can engrave a logo on the blade or on the handle part right here. You can put your name on there. We actually, just to show you, we also can take a photographic image.
That's cool.
And actually layer. We did this for Ducks Unlimited. Yeah, Ducks Unlimited.
Wow.
So that's an actual photograph of a duck, and then we put their logo. I don't know if you can see their logo on the handle. So if you had a photograph of something that you wanted to have on the blade, we can actually laser etch the photograph on the blade.
You know what? I'm almost tempted to use my discount code and get a picture of Jared's face and put it on one of my knives, just for them to be like, I'm gonna, we're gonna be cutting some fakes, and it's just like a tight picture of Jared's face, man. I think that would be. There you go. I just got a screen grab right. That I did not know. Now, out of curiosity, so if you're ordering it and you did want to either put like a PNG logo or to have that, is it something that you would be able to upload through the site, or just send an email, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've been on my own website. If it's not available to upload, I know we have that technology somewhere. But if it's not set up on the website, what you can do is just put a note that you want to have engraving, and then just call the next business day. The numbers on the website, and just say, hey, I put an order in. And they can put a note in there. I will call with engraving instructions, for example. Then just call the warehouse and say, hey, I bought, I'm Tom Jones. I bought the knife last night. I want to have this, and this on there. And they'll tell you exactly where to email it, and they'll get it done.
Nice. Very cool.
I did leave a link to your website in there, so people can go in there and click on there, and it will take them right to your website.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
cool.
like Bobby even said, great gift idea with the custom engraving.
Yeah, and we can also put the individual knives in a really beautiful wood box. We have also, if you want to give it as a gift to somebody, we have. I think it's an extra $10-15 or something like that, depending on the size of the box. But if you want to really impress somebody, you engrave their name on it, put it in a beautiful wood box. They make fantastic gifts.
Nice. Very cool. So actually, I have Jared, before I interrupt, I don't want to take any questions away. Is there anyone else that has lined up with questions, or?
No, as of right now, there's no more questions.
Okay. So I do have a question, Phil. Like, again, I love everything about barbecue. Started my barbecue channel, but I will be the first one to admit super novice when it comes to the different types of knives. I'm the guy who's like, I have, maybe 2 knives that I try to do for everything. And the assortment you sent me, I think one was like a boning knife. And then there's other ones like fillet knife. So and then there was the knives that have like the arrows or dimples going down the side. Could you explain maybe just in a nutshell, kind of like, maybe the 3 or 4, or actually probably it's more than that, maybe like 6 or 7 different styles of knives and kind of what the purpose is for?
Yeah. Well, you got your smaller paring knife, utility knife. That's for, you're peeling something or you're doing some little intricate cutting that you need a lot of control over. That's going to be your paring or your utility knife. A boning knife is going to be for trimming the fat off a piece of meat, butterflying it, getting around the bone, you're scraping around the bone, and then that blade's going to be stiff. Then you're going to have your fillet knives, which we have a 7-inch and a 9-inch, and they're going to be flexible. And that's so you're getting the skin off a fish. You can get the knife right down on the board and kind of slice the fit. Get every bit of meat you can off the fish. And then you're going to have your chef and santoku. The chef and santoku knives. A santoku knife is basically an Asian chef knife.
Okay.
And then you'll have your French chef style, which is, when you see the guys cutting and they're kind of rocking back and forth, they're using probably a standard 8-inch chef knife.
Okay.
But you usually see 6, 8, and 10-inch on your chef and your santokus, and those are your all-purpose fruits, vegetables. You can cut meat with it, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to have your, a bread knife is going to be serrated. A cheese knife is going to be serrated. Those are really the only knives you need serrated, is a bread and cheese knife. And then you have your cleavers. You'll have we make a nice vegetable cleaver that if you're going to do the rough chop or rock chop.
Yeah.
It's a 7-inch. And then then of course we have the big meat cleaver. And if you've got
now one question I do have, and I saw it on a post before, but they said there was actually a purpose to this hole right here. I remember seeing it on. It was either like one of those like stuff you would never like, kind of like those random facts.
Yeah.
Would you know offhand the purpose?
The only purpose I know is to hang it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. That's what I thought too. And then they're in this video. And what's funny, it totally like I'm totally spacing now. They're like, this hole is here for a specific reason, and then I'm like, I totally blanked. But
I'd love to know what that specific reason is, because all I know is
because it's like, hang it up on the wall, and there's your thing to hang it. But if I ever find that out, but I do remember seeing like there's a reason why there is a hole here, and I'm like, oh man, I can't remember.
Let me know if you find out.
Yeah, I'll have to do some investigation. What's up?
So I do have a question. Cypress Blue asked this, but you kind of touched on it, Phil. Are there the knives just for food, or is there a knife for filleting fish or other big game animals? Yeah.
So those 2 knives for game animals, you're going to use your boning knife is going to be something you'll use, and then the fillet knife is going to, I think. Andrew's getting a boning knife over there. And then your fillet knife is what you're going to use for fish, because it's going to be flexible.
Gotcha.
So and it's going to be really thin, so you can get in between the bones. And that's your 2 main knives for hunting and fishing.
Gotcha.
We don't make a true hunting knife. We make pocket knives. We make 3 different pocket knives, but we don't make a true hunting knife.
This one would be the fillet, correct?
That's a fillet knife.
The fillet, right? Okay. And then, so the one question I have, and for these ones, and you said this was the more like the Japanese kind of chef knife.
That's a santoku.
And then, so explain, like, what's the reasoning that they would actually have like these dimples in the?
It's to help the vegetables from sticking to the knife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Bobby said, for the reason why the hole is through your meat cleaver, so you can stick your sharpening steel through it for extra leverage.
Oh, I see. I knew it.
I like that.
Yeah, I remember, because I remember it's either something goes inside and then you can that made sense, because you would think like if you're sharpening it and then you could put it in there and.
Well, why wouldn't you just put your hand over the top of the
right? Okay, so another question from Niner Nation. Other than a block, do some of your knives come with covers?
They all come with well, not all. Most of them come with blade covers.
Yeah, that's basically this bad
yeah.
boy.
It's a locking blade cover.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Yeah, and so it doesn't get beat up inside your drawer. If you're going to keep it in your drawer, the blade's not getting knocked around and beat up.
Nice. Now, actually, when I was looking at your website, actually, Jared pointed out too, it was pretty cool that you basically have the pocket knives. What's the type of steel on that you use?
It's the same steel.
Steel. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That is wild.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, it's still that same,
you got that same quality.
Yeah, that's neat. Now, do you have those type of knives with the pro handle on it?
No, not the pocket knife.
Because you're like, come on, baby. Now we're talking about like a good, like a home protection.
Yeah.
So maybe a question that, nobody has asked this question, but for somebody who may be looking for an entry-level set of knives, what knives would you recommend for somebody who's looking for a good set of knives to start off with? Like, which ones would you say, these are the knives you need, and this is why I think you need them?
Yeah, the number one is going to be your 8-inch Santoku or chef knife. And those are going to be your fruits and vegetables, and you can slice meat with it. You can do a lot of stuff with either a chef knife or a Santoku. Basically the difference is, okay, this is a Santoku. This is going to be a little bit straighter along the bottom. And if you're a chopper, you're probably going to like the Santoku a little bit better. If you're more of a rocker when you're cutting, you're going to like the chef knife a little bit better because it's got a little bit more curve on the bottom of it. Then you want a little paring knife. You're always going to need a smaller knife. A paring or utility knife is going to be good. And then you're going to want something for your meats. A boning knife is good, or a fillet knife. You could start with those three knives. A chef knife, a paring knife, and like a boning or fillet knife, and you'd be good.
Nice.
Yeah, would cover most everything. Unless you do bread, then you want a bread knife, something serrated.
Nice. Now, actually, I remember we were talking about this. If you actually have a serrated knife on here, which was the one that you said would work? Would it be? It was the diamond one. The
diamond wheels. You can pull it through, and it sharpens up a serrated knife.
So, which angle would you go with?
You got to measure it. It's probably going to be, the serrated knives are probably going to be 20 degrees, right around 20 degrees.
Okay.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Well, Jared, is there any other questions for Phil in the chat?
Honestly, not right now. There's not that I see, but guys, don't be shy to ask.
Because I don't want to step on toes, but I still have more questions for Phil. Now again, this actually has nothing to do with the Angle Pro or the knife. So what's the weather like in Florida right now?
Oh, so today was sunny and 75, 78.
Okay, so it's funny. We're in the same boat. It's like 75, 80-ish here. And Jared, I called Jared this morning. He's like, oh my gosh. He's saying it's like, 30 or 35 degrees out there. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, that is freezing. I think right now we're enjoying that nice weather. Let's see. It's at 35 degrees right now.
I'm originally from Chicago, so I definitely enjoy the Florida weather.
So Phil can he knows your pain. Here's the thing. I haven't been outside of California, so all I know is really good weather. So I think I would die if I went outside and it's 15 degrees right now or minus. But oh my gosh. Ooh.
Yeah. We get the beautiful winters, but then we get about 5 months of like living in a sauna here in Florida.
Oh,
It's so humid. You don't get the humidity there, but it's bad here.
So if you were to take a vacation in Florida, what would be like the good range of months to check out Florida?
Oh, definitely now. Anywhere from October to May.
Okay.
The weather's going to be perfect.
Nice.
Every day.
Very cool. And then Jared, I believe you said you're a great state of Texas.
Yes.
And then, so as far as like, if I, one day I figure I'm gonna take a trip out there, what would be a good time to travel out to Texas? What
basically
range
the same time that Phil said, from October.
Well, I don't know. You just showed me 35. I think.
So this is only going to be for a few days, and then next week we're back into the 80s.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
you definitely don't want to. You definitely do. I lived in Dallas. You definitely don't want to be there in the summertime, man. It was like they get 30 straight days of 100 plus.
Oh my god.
I mean, Pensacola, around the top of Florida right now, they're experiencing a cold front right now too. So I mean,
interesting.
Not all of Florida stays hot.
Yeah.
No, it was. Listen, it was 40 degrees here 2 weeks ago. It gets cold. It gets cold here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hey, I just want to, personally thank you, Phil. One, thank you for the custom engraving on the knives, and then thank you for kicking our listeners and watchers the discount codes that you threw out. I also I do have a Facebook page where we mainly focus on like smokers and stuff like that. But
okay.
I put the live stream there, and I will drop those same links there just to they're pretty much all still part of this community and stuff like that. But yeah,
and I'm gonna do the same thing for my channel too, and I'll be posting this chat and your website and the discount code on my barbecue page as well.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Very cool. So hey,
Jared, let me know what knife you want. I'll send you one out.
I'm so impressed, man. Like, see, I'm serious. I've got me a Wusthof bag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Hey, listen, Wustof's a good knife, man. Wusthof makes a good knife.
You're like, pull it back out of the trash, man. I said
the quality that I've seen of your knives.
Yeah.
All the knives that Andrew showed me, like, I'm jealous. I'm like,
yeah.
I want those knives. Like, I mean, the meat cleaver, the fillet knife, the bony knife. Like, there's so many knives that I would pick from just to add to my collection. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Wusthof is a very good knife.
Yeah.
But the quality of your knives is just exactly what you said. I love the Pro Series. I love how it looks like it has a really great grip for all kinds of, like, say your hand gets wet or you're dealing with any kind of what. I feel like your knives are going to be great in the kitchen, outside in the barbecue pit. And I'm serious. I'm in love with your knives.
But here's the thing: it's not just. I mean, I get it. A lot of it's like, I have XYZ knife, and Wustof's a great brand. But I think what sets Rhineland Cutlery apart is you get to customize it to almost make it your own. So,
right.
In theory, not every knife out there is going to be the exact same. You're going to have a logo, a picture, your name, something that makes it personal. And so, I could, sure, I could whip this knife out, but trust me, if I'm whipping this cleaver out and you see your brand logo on there, you see your name, you're like, that feeling of pride that comes where, like, dang, I don't know, that's an added touch that I have not seen any. I'm sure maybe the others that do it, I haven't seen it. So that
we need to give Jared that sense of pride. You got a logo, right, don't you, Jared? You have a logo?
I sure do.
All right, man. Send me your logo. We'll laser etch that on the blade, man.
Yeah, I think that's that extra, like, I don't know. And to me, I was excited. I'm like, I can't wait to next meat I cook, to do a slow motion shot. You see the logo on there, and I'm like, oh heck yeah, brand. I absolutely love it. But hey, Phil, we will
All right.
We will let you go. But again, thank
Okay.
you for hopping on. Jared, is there anything you want to close us out with?
So one more quick question from
Sure.
from Cypress Blue. I missed. Are they stainless steel or surgical steel?
No, it's a high carbon stainless steel. Surgical steel is good for cookware. It's not the greatest for knives, but it's very good for cookware.
Gotcha.
But you want a blade that's got some carbon in it, and so it holds an edge real well.
Now, what if you needed to do a surgery? Would your knives?
Give it a shot. Go ahead.
Yeah, take a stab at it. Wait, no, don't do.
So, I mean, I am gonna. Just before we do close this out, usually after this show, we all hop over to my channel, and so I did put the link into my channel for the live show tonight that we're gonna go over there. So, if you want to join us, Phil, and talk a little bit over on my channel, you can, or if you have to get to sleep.
Yeah, I would love to, but it's late here. I'm on the East Coast, guys, and I gotta get up early tomorrow.
No problem.
That's
So
I need my beauty rest.
Yeah,
But, I'll take a rain check.
sounds good. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll get your email address from Andrew,
Okay.
and I'll send over my stuff to you.
All right, sounds good.
Very cool.
So
Nice talking to you guys.
Awesome.
you too, man. Appreciate it.
Likewise,
All
Phil. All right, you
Take
take
care.
care, Phil. All right.
Thanks, Phil.
See ya.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.
Later. Nice. Very cool. So, Jared, my man.
Yes, sir, Andrew.
Yeah, we got to throw up our logos on there now.
There you go.
Actually, you know what's funny is, hold on, what's funny is now it's so funny on how, like, I love you, Jared, in the fact that, like, you're an awesome host and you're handling these the comments. But for me to not be able to be like, see who's hopping in, I'm dying here because I'm trying to put up all the graphics. So now I want to give kind of a few shouts out to, oh my gosh, we're seeing like Josh the Cooking Cop. I'm seeing I'm seeing Brian up in here. I'm seeing Johnny. I'm seeing Chris.
We got Eastwind Farms.
I'm seeing Pop, Laura, for all the way from coming in from Canada. And I love that Laura was asking questions like about hunting. I think Laura's the only woman I know, actually probably the only person I know that could like pretty much straddle a moose and like take it down like with her bare hands.
With those,
yeah. As the moose skirts around, dude, I'm seeing Bobby. What is going on?
So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Cooking with the Crazy Pop. He was saying that how he would love to have one of those knives with his logo on there. I mean, bro, you can get you a knife with 50% off by just using BBQ 50.
And that's pretty cool. That you would think. Now, again, I'm not the owner of the company, but you would think with like the laser etching and all that stuff, you would think like that would be a perfect upsell. Like, cool, for an extra, whatever, $20 per knife, we're gonna like custom laser etch thing. And then it's just like, no, you just buy the knife, get 50% off, and the laser etching is free. It's like,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, that is that's insane. But yeah, no, I'm thinking even just for even the our friends in the barbecue community, dude, yeah, sure, you can get whatever knife set you want, but we all know branding is everything. So why would you want to let's face it, most knife companies aren't saying like, hey, for every shot you include our knife, we're going to send you a fat check. No, but so since that's not the case, put your branding on freaking everything. So
yeah,
exactly.
I mean, he's got a great product, and I'm dead serious about my Woo Stops. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy my Woo Stops, but he just has stuff in his knives that I really enjoy, and like I would be happy with knives like that.
Nice. Yeah, so Laura says the sharpener is too big, but what I found is you can actually just walk around your house and boom, this fits inside. You know, you can just walk around and be like, "Hey, do you need your knife sharpening?" Well,
you know, and here's a great thing for basically your outdoorsman. You could put this in your hunting bag, and you know, you could put that in your bag. You're out there, you're field dressing a moose, field dressing an elk, or doing whatever you got to do. You need to sharpen up that knife.
What he didn't tell Laura is if you actually look this way, it's a hunting scope. So you can actually mount this on top of your rifle, look through it, check out the moose, identify the gender, don't assume it, identify it, and then take the shot. Laura, oh my gosh,
now this is officially your last day on YouTube, Andrew.
Shut up, no, blah blah blah. So hey, when is the how many minutes do we got till how many minutes do we got till the after party show on your stream?
We have 20 minutes. Or
so Laura says put a sling on it over the shoulder, Andrew. You know what, Laura, I think I need to make a video just for Laura, and I'll basically just go out in the wilderness, and it's basically, you know, forget the whole, you know, like the hunting rifles and stuff like that. I'm just going to take this into the wilderness and be like, let's see what. Hey, here's the thing. I'm from California, so they limit on us what we can do. So I pretty much just have to use the deer tag to like jump on the deer and start strangling it, because everything else is pretty much banned here.
Right.
Did we see Darnell up in here? What's going on, Darnell? Right.
And if you guys want to donate so I can get some knives, donate $17.76 to the to this, and Andrew will PayPal it to me directly. So,
oh, Jared, stop that nonsense. You already have your sharpener, so you're good to go.
So,
yeah, you know, Laura says I can sharpen the knives and just throw them at the deer.
There you go.
Hey, that would actually work. Before, when I would try that with, you know, like my cheap Chinese knockoff knives, it would literally hit the deer and it would bounce back, and most likely I'd end up getting hurt. But yeah, now that these are actually, you know what, I feel like, you know, we didn't do this, but you know, I feel like, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna do this right now. And just because we have time, how much time do we have till your after party live?
I mean, we could start at 11, but I've got it scheduled for 11:15.
I guess, yeah, we could. I mean, we could call it a little bit, but I kind of wanted to do this just because YOLO. I've just never been able to experience this, but you pretty much, you know, you have your paper here and you have your knife here, and the let me see if I can, you know, and it pretty much just like butter. Like I've never, you know, it's weird. I've never experienced that before. All the knives I bit have literally been like either like hand-me-downs, and they weren't like, oh, these are really like a knife set hand-me-down. It's like, oh, we bought the cheap stuff and now we upgraded. Here, you can have the hand-me-down.
Cypress says take the knives away from Andrew.
I know, right? It's so, you know, it's almost, yeah, it's weird. I'm so hyper. I probably shouldn't. The knives actually want to put a restraining order on me. They're like, no, get away from us, Andrew. I'm like, hey, what's up?
So,
but yeah, it's crazy. And what's funny is it's like the butcher knife does that too. And
that's not a butcher knife, bro. That's your meat cleaver.
Meat cleaver. Okay, see, I mean, again, I already said from the beginning, I don't know anything about knives other than
that meat cleaver you have would be perfect for like street tacos. Over there, yeah, chopping up your meat and.
But okay, would you say that? So since I have two of them, that I could basically do a dual-handed chopping.
You could,
dude. Oh my gosh, yeah. These and the cool thing is just having the logo on it, man. I'm just like, you know, you don't even have to tell them where you're coming from. You're like, what up, the grill sergeant, baby. So yeah, I definitely. Yeah, definitely, Brian. I definitely see some Castle Hives logos on these bad boys.
Oh yeah. See, and here's the thing. I don't know which logo I want. I want to send to Phil. I don't know if I want to send him with my America Frack Yeah.
I think just the top part on your shirt right there, man.
The Frack Daddy Barbecue.
Frack Daddy Barbecue.
You. Yeah. Freedom.
Hey, why is it when we started singing, our view count dropped down to 0?
I have no
like, oh my god.
So
the singing is so bad. Oh, but anyway.
I'm gonna say, why don't we hop off here? We will we'll go to my channel, we'll get it set up, and we'll hang out for a bit.
Let's do it, man.
All right, man.
All right, guys. Hey, let me actually hold on. Before we do that, I need to get back to our brand thing so I can get down to the good night section. But all right, Jared, did you already drop the after party link?
I sure did. I dropped it a few times.
Okay, drop it one more time just to be safe. Other than that, everyone watching right now, we've been on for an hour. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, thank you, Phil, to Angle Pro Sharpener and Rhineland Cutlery, basically showing us his stuff and giving us these really, really awesome discounts. I will flash the discounts one last time. It was $20 off the barbecue, the Angle Pro Sharpener. And if you actually look, what impressed me is the Angle Pro Sharpener is already 50% off on the website. And then, so there's like the additional $20 on top of that. So that's pretty cool. And then you also do have on RhinelandCutlery.com, you do have the 50% off barbecue code. And that's pretty baller, and get your custom engraved knives through there. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you guys on the next one. See you at the after party, right? Peace.
Right.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.